The email arrived at exactly 10:07 a.m. on Christmas Eve, blinking once on the screen before changing a young woman's life forever. By noon, winter sunlight was pouring through the office windows, carols played faintly from someone's phone, and desks were already being cleared for the holidays. In the middle of that warmth and cheer, a shy girl named Elara Whitcomb was quietly fired, her badge deactivated while the city outside glowed with decorations and hope. No one noticed the way her hands trembled as she packed her things. No one imagined that what the CEO would discover later that day would leave the entire board in stunned silence. If you believe that kindness still matters and that everyone deserves a second chance, take a moment right now to like this video, comment, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel Dreams Journal. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Elara had always been invisible at Larkspur Technologies. She arrived early, left late, and spoke only when spoken to. Her soft sweaters, neatly braided hair, and careful posture blended into the background of the open plan office. She was brilliant in quiet ways, catching errors no one else saw, documenting systems no one bothered to understand, and fixing problems before they grew loud enough to demand attention. But she never fought for credit, and in a company obsessed with bold voices and flashy presentations, silence was mistaken for weakness. The decision to let her go had been easy for middle management. End-of-year restructuring, they said, budget tightening, performance alignment. Her name appeared on the list, and no one questioned it. She was called into a glass-walled room where sunlight reflected off holiday tinsel, handed a polite explanation, and escorted out before lunch. Elara nodded, thanked them, and walked away carrying a cardboard box that felt heavier than it should have. Outside, the day was bright and cold, and families hurried past with shopping bags and laughter. Elara sat on a bench, stared at her hands, and wondered how she would tell her grandmother that Christmas had just changed. What no one knew was that Elara had spent the past 6 months working on something unofficial. After noticing repeated system slowdowns that threatened client data, she had begun building a quiet backup framework in her spare time, testing it during breaks and refining it late in the afternoons when the office thinned out. She never told anyone. She assumed someone louder would eventually claim it, or management would dismiss her ideas anyway. So she kept working, believing that doing the right thing mattered even if no one saw it. At 2:30 p.m., while executives prepared to leave early, Larkspur's main servers crashed, screens went black, access vanished. Panic rippled through the building as technicians scrambled and phones lit up with alerts from major clients. The timing could not have been worse. Contracts were on the line, reputation hung by a thread. Someone mentioned that Elara used to handle parts of the system documentation, but she was already gone. The CEO, Rowan Hale, had returned to the office to pick up a forgotten gift when the chaos unfolded. Rowan was known for precision and high standards, but also for an uneasy feeling that something was always slipping through the cracks. As he watched the crisis escalate, he ordered a full diagnostic review. That was when an engineer stumbled upon a hidden directory, neatly labeled, dated, and maintained with meticulous care. Inside was a fully functional backup framework, ready to be deployed. The author name stopped the room cold. Elara Whitcomb. Rowan demanded everything connected to her work, emails, logs, access records. What he found was months of quiet dedication, unpaid overtime, and problem-solving that had saved the company more than once without anyone realizing it. The board gathered, faces tight with concern, as the system was restored using Elara's framework. Clients were reassured, losses were avoided. Silence filled the room, heavy with realization. By late afternoon, Rowan stood at the window, watching daylight fade, holding a resignation letter that Elara had drafted weeks earlier but never sent. It explained her fear of speaking up, her hope that her work would matter someday, and her belief that the company deserved protection even if she did not belong in it. The board members shifted uncomfortably, confronted with the cost of overlooking quiet people. Rowan did not hesitate. He ordered security to reactivate Ilara's access, sent a car to find her, and postponed every holiday plan. Ilara was found just as the sun dipped low, sitting in a small cafe, sipping tea she barely tasted.